I know a lot of Raptor fans are in a tough state emotionally still with watching Kyle Lowry leave and go to the Miami Heat. I know it's a tough time, but we got to move on, Raptor fans. We really, really do. And yes, I understand everyone's going to say in the comments, Masai Ujiri's back, Masai Ujiri's back, and that video will be uploaded right after this one is. I will already have recorded both together, so don't you worry about that. It'll be uploaded momentarily, and more or less, most of you guys will be seeing the video, and the other one will be there as well. But as you can see from the title, the big man, the Canadian boy, Khem Birch, is back with the Toronto Raptors. All expectations, as the year concluded and whatnot, that he was possibly going to come back with the Raptors. And Khem Birch does sign a 3-year, $20 million contract with the Toronto Raptors. And I'm fine with it, man. I really am. Under $10 million for a guy who you know what you're going to get from Birch. You're going to get some rebounding. Thank God. None of that Aaron Baines nonsense. He's going to give you some interior stuff. He's not really a perimeter shooter, but you got to remember, the Raptors development staff is great. People will be like, well, James, he's already 28. Not much developing going on there. You got to remember, he's been playing behind Nikola Vukovic forever, basically. So he hasn't really had time to play. He comes here, he averages 30.4 minutes a night. He averages almost 12 a game, over 7.5 boards a game, 1.2 blocks a game. When he gets given the minutes, Khem Birch is not a half-bad big man. And you're not asking him to be your number one scorer. You're asking him to grab rebounds, grab the dirty buckets, and just put back. Get the offensive boards and put them back. Be big on the inside defensively. And Khem Birch can do that. We saw that a lot last year. So I'm totally fine with the signing. And him only being 28 years old in a 3-year term is very nice. And plus, he's a Canadian guy that definitely wants to be here. So that's always a plus. And now, with having Chris Boucher and Khem Birch, don't you feel a lot better with those two guys than riding with Aaron Baines and Alex Len to start the year? I mean, my goodness, it's like a million times different. And that's going to be a nice little rivalry between the two Canadians going at it, see who's going to get the starting minutes and whatnot. However, what I think is going to happen, at least to start the year, is matchups. Right? You're not going to see Boucher go up against a guy like Joel Embiid, right? You're going to want the bigger, stronger, solid guy, Khem Birch, against a guy like Embiid. How is it going to go? We don't know, but you want the better matchup that you have. But if you have a slimmer big man, a guy that's not as physical, you can use, and a guy that wants to stretch the floor more, you can use a guy who's like Chris Boucher, right? So it's going to be kind of a mixing and matching from starting unit to bench, I think, between those two guys. And then from that point, you feel out the game and see who's doing what. And if Boucher's having a really bad game against a guy you should dominate, you got to throw in Khem Birch and let him work, right? So it's going to be a lot of touch and feel with this team, but I think, it's going to be very matchup driven between the big men who's going to be getting the start. What I'm excited for, and it's kind of a little off topic between Khem Birch and Chris Boucher, but Scottie Barnes is going to be in the Summer League. We're all jacked up to watch him play. The battle that him and Pascal Siakam are going to have, I mean, obviously Pascal's the more experienced guy. He's the more established player. But with Scottie Barnes, he's coming in here ready to work. He's coming in here ready to get a job done and get some W's for his team. It's going to be a nice little 1-2 they got there. Pascal's obviously going to start. I think at least to start the season, you're going to see Scottie Barnes come off the bench. And what that does, can you imagine the energy you're going to have? Let's say Boucher's on the bench that game at your 4 and your 5 with Scottie Barnes and Chris Boucher. Like, my goodness. Then you had Malachi Flynn in the mix of the 1. And then your team's starting to fill out. And you're like, okay, things aren't looking too shabby here, right? So it's going to be a very interesting year. You're going to see a lot of interchanging parts, probably a lot of different starting lineups, assuming everyone's healthy. It's going to be a lot of fun. It really is. And I miss watching basketball. And I say it to everybody who asks me what my favorite sport is. I'm like, it's really whatever's not on. When it's the wintertime, I miss baseball. When it's summertime, I miss hockey and basketball. It's just, when I start talking about them, I'm like, damn, I want to watch Scottie Barnes right now at Scotiabank Arena taking on a team. But we can't do that right now. So that's my philosophy when it comes to whenever somebody asks me what my favorite sport is. I just want to throw that out there for you guys. It's a question I get quite a bit. But I don't want to take up too much more of your time, guys. I mean, we talked about Khem Birch, we talked about Chris Boucher, we talked about Scottie Barnes, we talked a little bit of Toronto Raptors in general. And very shortly, as I mentioned, we'll be talking Masai Ujiri. Can't wait to do that with you guys, all right? But you know what? That is going to do it for this one, guys. A little bit of a shorter video. But again, what else are to talk about? All right? Smack the like button if you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video. Your thoughts on Khem Birch coming back with the Toronto Raptors. Where do you think he's going to fit on the Raptors? Do you agree with me in the whole platoon spot with him and Chris Boucher? Let me know what you think in the comments. All right? Twitter is down below for myself. Follow, send me a all that great stuff. The Instagram link is down below, so follow up there. If you have not done so already, I'll talk to you guys Jay's Edition. Unfortunately, I won't be talking to you guys tomorrow night, Jay's Edition, but I'll be talking to you guys Monday, Jay's Edition, wrapping up the 4-game set against the Boston Red Sox, the massive series against the Bo Sox at Rogers Center. Alek Manoah, Nathan Eovaldi, that's the pitching matchup tomorrow in Game 1 at Rogers Center. And as for the Toronto Raptors, I'll be talking to you guys very shortly. Masai Ujiri Edition as he's back with the Toronto Raptors. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.